Welcome back, basketball fans. So I was watching the Herd NBA award ballots, blah, 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 blah. Colin is obviously not out, and they had Rachel and this other guy hosting. Did a good job, but this is more about what the NBA awards have become. They become like the Oscars, the Academy Awards. Pointless, useless, and all fucking DEI. Right? Now they're trying to jam Wemby into the conversation because he's such a dominant defensive player. Am I wrong? Isn't there a Defensive Player of the Year fucking award? I'm pretty sure there is. So how are you going to let that be the main impact to jam this guy above SGA, but primarily above Joker? Like, think about that. You think about all the MVP awardees that have won throughout history. And when has defense been something people jam down your throat? Being successful and winning percentage, those kind of things obviously have always been important. But defense was never anything that people were pushing. Not until Wemby said it in an interview, and then the media jumped on it and ran with it. It's the same as, we need more minorities in the movie industry. This is the same thing. We need more defense in the MVP conversation. Now, this doesn't take away from Wemby. Wemby's a good player. But let's be honest. This is a kid that came in with a bunch of hype, has yet to really dominate the NBA for an extended period of time. This season, he literally played on a minutes restriction. The kid's like, 22 years old, 23 at max, and he's playing on a minutes restriction. This tells you everything you need to know about his longevity in the league. There is no longevity. So I guess that's why they're trying to push him into MVP ballot now, because they know 5 years from now, he's probably not even going to be in the league. And he's not going to live up to be the player that potentially he could be, just like Ralph Sampson, Yao Ming, and other players before him didn't do because of injuries and health issues, because you're just too tall and physically it's too much of a grind on your body. But that's not a reason to put him number one above people who really have earned the MVP ballot. Joker got fucked out of it the year Embiid won. And there was a big push by the media making it a race thing. A race thing. A race thing. Right? Literally the reason Embiid won is specifically DEI, because he was the black guy. And they needed a black guy to win. They couldn't have Joker dominating the MVP run. Then you had SGA win last year. But everybody knew last year the best stats and the team that deserved to win was the Joker. But because his team didn't perform that well because of injuries and whatnot, and SGA's team was number one and dominated the league, they used that to justify him being MVP. Now this year you're trying to put Wemby into the conversation. I mean, I don't know how you put Wemby above Luka, because Luka's been far more important for his team than Wemby has been. If you want to get an MVP to San Antonio, you might as well give it to Castle, a guy who's played consistently, been the highest minutes played, a guy that's been a triple-double machine for the San Antonio team, and a guy that helped them win even when Wemby was playing on restricted minutes or not playing at all back-to-back games. Because many back-to-back games, that guy sat out. But if you want to give it to him, that's fine. But that tells you everything you need to know about the awards now. And let's not even start talking about Cooper Flagg. When has a guy that came into the league as the number one draft pick, led his team in every stat, not won the MVP ballot? The Rookie of the Year ballot. But this shows you the insidious kind of thing that's been going on with Flagg from day one, since he was a highly coveted high school player, went to Duke, and already at that point, when we're talking about number one draft pick, people were trying to put Harper and Bailey above him, right? Two guys that played together in college couldn't even make the NCAA March Madness tournament because their team performed so bad. They're great players. They both are better than Cooper Flagg. They both deserve to be number one above him. But yet his team was the number one team in college basketball, didn't win the championship, but was right in contention till the last game when they ended up losing in a very competitive, close match. Whereas those guys were irrelevant, literally irrelevant. And both of them coming into the NBA have been what you expected. Good players. Good players. They say, oh, if Harper was on a shit team, imagine his minutes. Well, Bailey's on a shit team, and what minutes has he put up this year? Nothing. I mean, he's been okay. He's shown promise. Both of them show upside and the potential. But Flag came in, had all this pressure to replace Luka, was second fiddle to an all-star who got hurt and then obviously got traded. So now even more pressure is put on him to lead the team. Right out of the gate, they tried to change his position and make him ball dominant, right? As a 19-year-old in his first season in the NBA, coming out of college where he handled the ball a little bit, but they had real point guards. So it's not like he had to lead the team and be ball dominant like they were trying to push him in the NBA. So of course he started slow because of all this responsibility now incurred upon him to step up and lead this team forward. Still ended up beating Knipple in every single legitimate stat in the NBA. Points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. The only stats that Con did better were shooting stats, but that's because he's a role player. He gets far more open jump shots than Flag ever gets. If you watch a game, Flag very seldom gets an open jump shot within the system. First of all, because there's no player that's creating double teams on Dallas right now that, of course, AD is no longer there. And so, you know, the system just doesn't work nearly as effective. And you really see where Con is, truthfully, in the NBA right now in the first two playoff games that he's been a part of. He got benched in game one, and now in game two, they're getting blown away by Orlando, a team that looked terrible in their last performance. But still, Orlando's blowing the doors off of fucking Charlotte. Because Charlotte's got a good team for regular season, but they don't have a good team for the playoffs. Because they got a point guard that's garbage and a bunch of other players that are, you know, good players, but no superstars. And that includes Knipple. But you want to put him into the position as Rookie of the Year. Why? Once again, trying to put anybody in these positions instead of Cooper Flag. Number one draft pick, it's got to be Bailey or Harper above him. You had Mashburn early on in the season saying he would literally pick 5 of the top high school players coming out this year, all above Cooper Flag, if Flag was in this draft. Because he could have been in this draft. He's the one that moved forward in his college career and obviously joined the league a little earlier because of that. So you're going to pick Boozer above him. Yeah, okay. Nobody's doing that. You're going to pick AJ DeBonsa above him. Oh, okay. You get a bit of a conversation. But never, ever has AJ DeBonsa been ranked above Cooper Flag in high school rankings or anything else. You're going to put the guard from Kansas above him, Peterson, a great player, but a guy that you want to build your organization around this kid who's had all these kind of internal issues in college. But this is the consistent push to try to downplay and degrade Cooper Flag. We saw similar situations with Caitlin Clark when she went into the WNBA. And the media and people were pushing so hard to try to push Angel Reese above her in the in the Rookie of the Year ballots. Acting as if because she's leading the league in rebounding, she deserves to be above Caitlin Clark. Even though I think Caitlin Clark's team ended up doing better than her in the regular season. And Caitlin Clark obviously averaged more points, more assists than her, and was just the better player, the more important player to her team. Angel Reese at that time was literally a garbage player who was just chasing rebounds and did a great job doing that. But that was her role, very limited. They weren't running the offense through her. She wasn't important for that team winning, and they didn't win anyway. But this is consistent what we see. You can chalk it up to whatever reason you want. But I noticed that with Joker, Flag, Caitlin Clark, Luka, there's one specific thing that stands out. And for some reason, ESPN and the American sports media is trying to downplay these people. And it's no surprise. I mean, with the state of America right now, and the DEI push that we see consistently, there's no surprise that they're trying to downplay these individuals, which is part of the problem in the world. Instead of just giving people credit for what they do and not trying to make this, something else. But unfortunately, this is just what the media consistently is fucking jamming down people's throats and really trying to make these awards now meaningless. Meaningless.